Hello my friends, welcome back to Cafe Bagheri. It's a beautiful late summer day in the backyard and we're doing some brick oven cooking for you. We're going to make a Mediterrano Shrimp Dip. This recipe came to us from some friends that we know from the neighborhood, and Mama San and I fell in love with it, added some of our own items to it, and I think it's awesome. You're gonna love this. So please stay with me and we're going to make some Mediterrano Shrimp Dip together. Hey guys, before we go any further, I wanted to let you guys know we're now on Twitch. We do live streams, all kinds of hours, late nights, in the morning, breakfast. And our address is cafe_Bagheri. Please come visit me on Twitch. So the main ingredient for this dip is raw shrimp. We're gonna clean and devein the shrimp. We're gonna chop them up into 2 to 3 pieces each. This is going to be scoopable with your chips or bread. We're going to saute the shrimp in extra virgin olive oil. By the way, the recipe will be given in comments. On medium-high heat, we cook the shrimp, sweat it up a little bit, and then we will add some minced garlic to that. Avoid overcooking the shrimp. You don't want the shrimp to be rubbery, it's going to cook in the oven later. So it's time to booze it up a little bit. Oh, add in some Greek ouzo or Turkish raki. My favorite is the Turkish raki, Yeni raki brand. The alcohol is going to evaporate, but it gives this dip its distinctive taste. It will take 2 to 3 minutes for the alcohol to evaporate, and so you kind of simmer it. And then it's time to set that aside in your casserole dish. Now we're going to use the same pan to saute our onions. We use the rest of the olive oil and saute our onions for a couple of minutes there. At this point, we're going to add some aromatics, some Italian herbs. I happen to have this beautiful garden in the backyard every spring. I'm going to get some oregano and some basil. Those purple ones are wonderful. I love those. So I'm going to rough chop the herbs and put them in with the onions. If you don't have fresh herbs, not a problem. You can use dry Italian seasoning. And as you can see, I'm going to add some Italian seasoning anyways on the top of the fresh herbs. I add some dry pepper flakes for some zing. You need a little spice in there. If you don't have that, you can use cayenne pepper. There goes my dry Italian seasoning. So you continue to saute that for another minute or two. And now it's time to add our tomatoes, crushed tomatoes out of a can. Now we add another one of my favorites. Mama San loves these artichoke hearts from the can. We chop them up when they come out of the can. Now we're going to stir it all together and simmer this until it thickens a little bit, about 4 minutes or so. Once the sauce has reduced sufficiently, we're going to mix in our yogurt and the 2 ounces of crumbled feta and then stir it all well so the sauce will change color. We get somewhat lighter color and creamy texture to it. So now we're going to do one more check to make sure salt and pepper is right and adjust as needed. And then at this point, we're going to let the sauce simmer for 15 minutes and stir it frequently. So it's time to add the shrimp back into the sauce. You notice that juice from the shrimp. It's important to add that back in the sauce. It has a lot of good flavor. Now it's time to put the sauce and the shrimp back into the oven-proof casserole dish that's going to go into the oven. Make sure the top of the dip is leveled. And we're going to sprinkle the rest of our crumbled feta on the top of this beautiful dip. And it's now ready to go into the oven. We can add some more dried Italian herbs or fresh chopped up herbs if you have it. So today I'm going to be baking this dip in our brick oven in the backyard. I built this oven 3 years ago, and we use it for pizza and just about everything you can imagine. We're going to turn the casserole halfway through the 20-minute time to make sure it cooks evenly, and it's going to absorb the smell and goodness of that fire in the background. So, looks like our dip is ready. Here you go. You've kind of put it in the oven opening where the temperature wasn't too hot, but about 350 to 375. Look at this. Our dip is ready. So here you have it, guys. Our Mediterrano Shrimp Dip. The standard recipe for this dip is inside in your conventional oven. I did it in the brick oven. It's a beautiful day out, so we did our cooking in the backyard. Very simple prep. Just don't overcook the shrimp. What we serve it with is your favorite bread slices. You can toast baguettes or French bread or your favorite crackers, and you basically just scoop it up. This would feed 8 to 10 people as hors d'oeuvres right before your cocktail party, and you just enjoy it like so. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me here today at the Cafe Bagheri backyard for some outdoors cooking. Come back and see me as soon as possible. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and hit the little bell button so we can keep in touch as always, and hope to see you here very soon at another Cafe Bagheri episode.